Production support for the weekly special is provided by Smithville, a locally owned business serving central and southern Indiana since 1922, with residential and business internet, voice, and security services. Smithville, local pride, global technology. Information at smithville.net. And by WTIU members. Thank you.
The weekly special is celebrating Earth Day. We'll visit Turkey Run State Park, one of Indiana's earliest conservation efforts. Learn how to hunt for morels with the Hoosier Mushroom Society. And visit a landmark town that's gone green in an unexpected way. Plus some amazing guests, and Elmo Taylor is here to perform tonight on the weekly special. Hi, I'm Pam Thrash.
And I'm Joe Wren. Thanks for joining us.
Wow, tonight really is about going green, Joe. Be it getting outdoors or learning new ways to be environmentally friendly.
That's right. We'll start with the trip to one of Indiana's most beautiful parks.
Turkey Run is a very unique state park in northern Indiana. It's these cool shady glens, it's old growth trees, it's these wonderful eastern hemlock trees gracing cliff sides overlooking beautiful creeks and valleys. And it looks this way because of something that happened a mere 12,000 years ago. That was the end of the time of the last glacier in this part of the state. And when that glacier melted, that stuff that was inside the glacier is now roaring out of the glacier in these torrents of meltwater, running through the cracks in crevices in this Mansfield sandstone and carving out the familiar trail system that we know today. And a man named Salmon Lusk back in 1821 came through here as a scout for William Henry Harrison, trying to find safe passage for the troops from Terre Haute up to the Battle of Tippecanoe. So then when he resigned his commission from the Army, he was paid with a land grant, as many officers were in those days. And then in 1823 came here and bought the first 288 acres of what later became Turkey Run State Park. And we're very lucky because this man was really an early conservationist. It's because of them that we still have old growth trees, and it's because of them this is a park. When he died, the timber buyers of Indiana were coming in force. They wanted to buy Turkey Run and cut down all the trees. A committee headed by Richard Lieber, a commission actually, who was looking into establishing a system of state parks in Indiana. So Richard Lieber came here to see Turkey Run and of course, fell in love with the place, had to have it. And so he initiated a campaign to raise the funds and to get the people of Indiana excited about saving Turkey Run for themselves. These state parks were established not just to conserve land, but to provide a place for people to come to get away from all the struggles and stresses in their lives and to just soak up nature, relax, and pull some peace into themselves. We have a lot of special events coming up at Turkey Run. The first weekend in May is our Welcome Back weekend on all of our state properties. You can participate in hikes and workshops and all kinds of make and take activities to kind of get you back out into nature and ready for the summer. And so I would encourage anyone who can to come out and visit an Indiana State Park this year. It doesn't have to be Turkey Run. They are all special in their own unique ways, and it is a renewal place, someplace that you can come and feel better.
There's another incredible story about Hoosier conservation efforts broadcasting this Sunday on WTIU.
That's right. Goose Pond, the story of a wetland and its neighbors, has already won 2 Telly Awards for documentary work. Here's a sneak peek.
When Indiana became a state in 1816, there were over 200 million acres of wetlands in the United States. Considered useless for farming, Congress passed the Swampland Act of 1850 that encouraged settlers to dredge, drain, and tile their waterlogged areas and convert them into farmland. By the mid-1970s, less than half the wetlands in the continental United States remained. The importance wetlands have in helping to improve water quality and create wildlife habitats for migratory animals was finally widely recognized, and many of the Swampland Act's provisions were reversed. One of the success stories that resulted is the 8,000-acre Goose Pond Fish and Wildlife Area in southern Indiana, the largest wetland restoration project of its kind in U.S. history.
Wow, that looks incredible. Don't miss it this Sunday at 2 p.m. For more information, visit indianapublicmedia.org/goosepond. And now, over to Pam, who has a special studio guest.
That's right. I'm here with Mady Hirschland, who's here to tell us about a unique green initiative happening in Indiana. You are one of the founding members of a Bloomington-based interfaith group called Earth Care.
That's right.
And you have some challenges, or you have some hopes for the Bloomington area. Tell us about this Task of the Month.
The Task of the Month program breaks home energy use down into 12 very simple tasks that a whole congregation takes on in their households. And we've had tremendous success with it across Bloomington. There's lots of congregations doing it.
Right.
We'd like to have lots more involved. We have 20 congregations that are members of Earth Care. And the one congregation that did this first and finished made national news when we did it. We had a third of the members cut their energy use by a seventh. So it's very exciting.
And is this also something that's statewide and even nationwide?
Earth Care worked with an interfaith group in Indianapolis and other interfaith and single faith creation care groups and started a statewide group. And it's Hoosier Interfaith Power and Light. It became an affiliate of a national group. So, yeah.
And you have a goal for this area that you'd like to see people cut down. Tell us about that.
We would love to see all of Bloomington engaged in cutting our energy use by 40%. I have experience. Our household is cut by 75%. It's really easy, very doable. We'd like to see the city, the schools, the congregations, IU, all of the city cut its energy use by 40%.
And it's a lot simpler than we would think.
It is.
I'm assuming.
It is. Yeah.
And now if people want to find out more about Earth Care and if they want to get their congregation involved, how can they do that?
They should go to our website and they can contact us through that, or info@earthcareindiana.org, or I think any
Something
of the above.
like that.
Yes, yes.
Excellent. And this is something you're doing at your own household?
Yes. We're doing it, and our congregation's doing it, and lots of congregations and lots of...
And I would suggest anybody that's more interested to check out your website. There's information about you, and it's just really interesting how you came to help find Earth Care. So
with a bunch of other people.
Very interesting. So thanks so much for joining us today. And now we're going to go over to Joe.
Thanks, Pam. Here's Elmo Taylor.
We run off, leaving things behind that seem less important at the time. And though they're always on our mind, we're too busy trying to find a way to chase and catch our dreams as we try to grab them instantly. We lose sight of where we need to be and end up somewhere we did not mean. Yesterday I was lying in bed when a light came on inside my head, and I heard a voice that plainly said, you need to be somewhere else instead. Now I don't know if it's too late. All I know is I can't wait, and now I'm finally on my way back to where I should have stayed. Now I'm doing my best to get back to 700 West. I don't know what will happen next, but I'm on my way today. I still remember the day she said, I've got something to say. I love you, boy, oh, won't you stay? And I just turned and walked away. Now I hope that she will realize that no matter how hard someone tries, a man can make a mistake sometimes. If you only look into my eyes, now 700 west. I don't know what will happen next, but I'm on my way today. I don't know what'll happen for sure. Will she run into my arms once more and hold me tight just like before, or turn away and close the door? But I got to take that chance, you see. Life without her is empty, and now I know what's meant to be, and I can never leave. Now I'm doing my best to get back to 700 west. I don't know what will happen next, but I'm on my way today. 700 west.
I'm doing my best to
700
get back 700 west.
700 west.
Don't know what will happen
I'm
next,
doing
but
my
I'm
best
on
now,
my way,
now,
on my way, on my way.
cause I got to get back, I got to get back, I got to get back, and now don't you know, I got to get back there, I got to get back now, 700 west, 700 west, 700 west.
Wow, very nice. Great job.
Thank you.
Tyler, wonderful.
Thanks so much.
What was that we just heard?
That was a song written by Dave called 700 West, and that's one of our newer songs. We haven't recorded this one yet, but well, I guess it's new for about a year. I guess we kind of have to get into the studio, but yeah, that was a Dave song, as we call them. We have Dave songs, Sarah songs, and every once in a while a Tyler and Leslie song.
And is that Leslie?
That's
in the
Leslie back there on the hand drums, yes.
Great. What are some of your inspirations when you're sitting down to create music?
Well, Dave gets inspired by anything, a dust bunny, a leaf blowing in the wind. I mean, you name it, like he'll just look at something and write a song about it. And we have a book about this thick of all the songs he's written. So, yeah, I guess I spoke for Dave, but I believe that's to be your inspiration.
That is true.
Anything
Great.
inspires him.
Now, you guys are going to do a benefit next
Yes.
Thursday. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, we're really excited to benefit for this great organization called Abilities Unlimited. And this organization provides wheelchairs and things for people that might find themselves in need, or they help them find some housing. If they find themselves in a situation where they need to adapt their housing, they can help them do that in their own home or put them in a new facility. So it's this great organization, and they asked Elmo Taylor to help them with a fundraiser, so we agreed to do that. And then we got super lucky and found Don't Call Me Betty, another local band in town.
Yeah.
And so we're both gonna play the show. We're gonna open for Don't Call Me Betty. And that's going to be next Thursday night, April 26th at Rhinos. And it's
Great.
going to start at 7:30 p.m. Parking's free.
In Bloomington.
In Bloomington. It's $10 to get in, but that money will go to Abilities Unlimited.
Great. And if people out there would like more information about your band, where can they go?
They can find us on Facebook. We're Elmo Taylor Band on Facebook. And they can find us on our webpage, www.elmotaylor.com.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Yeah, great.
Elmo Taylor will be playing another song, but first we're going to take a look at another activity you might try this weekend, morel hunting.
Around Indiana, the main mushroom that most people know is going to be morels. The spring is when probably thousands of mushroom hunters across the state go into the woods. Some people refer to it as an adult Easter egg hunt, so it's really just more of a fun thing to do in the spring, and on top of that, you get a really good meal out of it at the end. So, during morel season, most morel hunters are going to try to get out every day, just because it's a really short season. The season started in Indiana maybe in mid-March, and that's when the black morels come up. They're the first ones to come up throughout the year. A little later now, the yellow started coming up, and so different types have different seasons. So a yellow morel has sort of a yellow color throughout it. The black morels are just going to be darker, and the edges of all these ridges are going to have a black color to it. Certain types of mushrooms grow in association with certain types of trees. It's a relationship that's called mycorrhizal, and that's kind of a big word, but if you break it down, the prefix myco means fungi and rhizal means roots. Finding morel mushrooms is often a function of finding the right trees that they grow with. The first goal is going to be to find the right type of woods. So something with elms, ash, sycamore. There's several other types of trees they really like growing with as well. Those would probably be some of the main ones around here. Often when you find a tree that is supporting the morel growth, there's going to be more than one around the tree. So if you find one mushroom, you always want to look around the tree because there's probably going to be more. So that'd be an example of one in the ground. See another one right over there, if the dog doesn't step on it. It's often best to have someone with a little bit of expertise to teach you through the processes, especially identifying a lot of the different wild mushrooms. Indiana has probably 2,000 to 3,000 different types of wild mushrooms out there, and so there's a lot of variation, there's a lot to learn. Some of the main characteristics when identifying mushrooms are the substrate that it's growing from. Is it growing from wood? Is it growing from the ground? Is it growing from leaf litter? And the second thing is, does it have gills or pores? You flip the mushroom over. Even if you're wanting to take a picture and have someone identify it, you're always going to want to flip the mushroom over as well and take a picture of the underside. So that way they can see both whether it has gills or pores, as well as how the gills are attached to the stem. And so there's just a lot of little things like that that we teach people when looking to identify wild mushrooms. Most states have a mycological association, and that's going to be one of the best places to start out. Indiana has one. It's called the Hoosier Mushroom Society. It's at hoosiermushrooms.org. And so online we have a lot of information for identifying mushrooms, identifying trees. We plan events usually once a month throughout the year, and so there's lots of opportunities for people to come and learn about mushrooms. If nothing else, you're going to have a great walk through the woods. Just getting out in nature is a really satisfying experience in general. So even if you're out there and not finding anything, just try to have fun. Check out the different trees, check out the different wildflowers that are popping out around. And so that's the main thing. It should be a fun experience.
Got to try some of those, Joe.
You know, Pam, I visited a town recently that mushrooms would love. Now, the process hasn't been easy, but 7 years after being dubbed BioTown USA, the small town of Reynolds in north central Indiana is living up to its name. Driving through this small Indiana town of close to 500, there are no indications that it's the center of cutting-edge technology. This town of Reynolds is being powered from something that will never be in short supply around here, manure.
We're taking gas from poop and running the big engines and making electricity.
Local farmer and president of BioTown Ag, Brian Furr, is overseeing the project that has piqued the interest of people all over the world.
People in the corporate world and throughout are talking about sustainability on a day-to-day basis, and I'm not sure they really understand the true definition of sustainability. And to me, sustainability means that we have a never-ending supply, and that's really what we're truly trying to do on this farm.
At heart, Furr says he's just a farm boy despite working to make Reynolds the first energy self-sufficient community in America. But why Reynolds, Indiana? White County Economic Development Director Connie Neininger says they have many of the resources needed to pull this off.
Within a 15-mile radius of Reynolds, we have 150,000 plus head of hog. We have the crossroads. We have highways crossing in the center of Reynolds. We have railroads crossing in the center of Reynolds.
Our tour started with the processing of the manure.
It's all dumped here. We take the loader, we scoop it up, and we dump it into the pit, okay? And then in the pit, we mix it in with the water and liquefy it.
The liquid is then pumped into a tank called the digester. It's the size of a football field, 16 feet into the ground.
We've just simply made a very, very large cow's stomach. So we put all this in there, it's sealed, there's no oxygen in it.
The organic matter breaks down, emitting methane gas that travels through the pipes into the engine room. 3 generators fueled from the methane gas produce electricity that goes back into the electric grid.
So we're producing a little over about 2,500 kilowatts of electricity. The town of Reynolds at peak will use 2,800 kilowatts.
But the process doesn't end there. The leftover solids and liquids from the digester are separated. The liquids become organic fertilizer for crops. The solids are put back in the bottom of cattle pens to absorb more waste. Even the heat from the generators is used to keep the temperature in the digester the same level as a cow's stomach.
I think farmers realize they have to change the way they're operating if they're going to continue to be in business. And so with this new idea that was looking at agriculture, it was a welcoming change.
Now that the process is in place, Neininger is hoping to draw companies to White County that will capitalize on these new technologies. For now, the key component is education. They are offering tours to industry leaders, educators, students, and the public.
That is amazing, Joe. So you were actually there, and I'm sorry, but my biggest question for you is, does it smell?
Well, no, we thought the same thing when we were there, but it's surprising, maybe a little bit, but not much, and mainly it's because a lot of the breakdown happens in that big digester that you saw.
Okay.
And so, no, you really don't smell
notice
much.
it.
Yeah, no.
That's amazing. That is just
it's
very,
something else.
very amazing. Well, our next guest is certainly doing her part to recycle trash as well through a lot more beautiful way. We have Jean here. Welcome to the weekly special and your model. You've got an event going on this weekend at Buskirk Chumley Theater called Trashion Refashion. Tell us about that.
Well, it's a fashion show with 50 designs, all made from 90% recycled materials. The refashion part are clothes made from used clothing turned into something new, and the trashion part of the show are things that were never clothing before, so more things you would actually think of as trash. And it's a fundraising event for the Center for Sustainable Living, and also a very fun creative art event.
And we have a model right here showing some fashion. Tell us about this beautiful dress.
This is Felice, and she's wearing a film dress that will not be in the show Sunday, but we made this dress for her to wear to the Cannes Film Festival, where she will be doing some press work. And so we thought she might get herself in the spotlight and she could promote some trash in there.
I think so. Now, you were mentioning though that off air we were talking about the store possibly opening in this area.
Right, an offshoot of the Trashion show is a store called Discardia. And it's a consignment store where local artists can make things also from recycled materials, and we will sell them in the store, and it can be really from anything that you can think of.
Okay, excellent.
And you're wearing something too.
Yes, I have a purse here that's made from a bicycle inner tube and a bracelet made from old typewriter keys.
I love that. I love that. So what we want to find out too, because it sounds like something I would love to come to, when is the event this weekend?
It's at 7 o'clock on Sunday night at the Buskirk Chumley Theater.
Okay, and if people want to find out more information?
They can go to, for the show, they can go to bloomingtontrashion.org.
Okay. Now, you were mentioning it's also a fundraiser for the Center for Sustainable Living, and tell us about that organization.
Well, the Center for Sustainable Living is a community nonprofit that has been in Bloomington for 20 years now, promoting all aspects of sustainable living. And some projects you may know are the Bloomington Bicycle Project and the Simply Living Fair and Siren, the Southern Indiana Renewable Energy Network. And Local First Indiana is also, we usually have 10 or 15 projects going at any given time.
And how often have you done this so far?
This is the 3rd year, and it's doubled every year that we've done it.
That's fantastic. Well, we hope a lot of people come out to that, and you guys may have to design some outfits for Joe and I.
Yeah, related to television.
Absolutely, we could do something like that. That is so very cool. And if you want to attend the Trashion Refashion show, again, check out www.simplycsl.org for event details.
Well, Pam, that does it for tonight's Very Green Show.
Yes, but first, here's Elmo Taylor. Happy Earth Day.
Oh, please just let things be. Oh, please just let things be. change. You're free to go, I want you to stay. Please know I trust you now. Please know I want you to stay. Please just let things be. Oh, please just let things be. Your strength and character lay in knowing that I'll stay, knowing what you feel. All of this is real.
Production support for the weekly special is provided by Smithville, a locally owned business serving central and southern Indiana since 1922, with residential and business internet, voice, and security services. Smithville, local pride, global technology. Information at smithville.net. And by WTIU members. Thank you.